Most dinosaur fossils look, well, like fossils. Broken bones, scattered teeth, a few pieces of a skeleton. The rest is left to imagination. But every once in a while, nature does something almost impossible. It preserves a dinosaur so perfectly that millions of years later, it almost looks alive. These aren't just the best dinosaur fossils ever discovered. They're time capsules, and each one completely changed what we thought dinosaurs looked like. Let's start with one that shouldn't even exist. In 2011, workers digging through an oil sands mine in Canada hit something unexpected at first. Nobody thought it was a dinosaur. It looked more like a giant stone statue. But when paleontologists began removing the rock, they realized they weren't looking at a skeleton. They were looking at almost the entire animal. This was Borealopelta, an armored dinosaur that had somehow been preserved in extraordinary detail for over 110 million years. Its armor and skin was still there. Even the tiny scales covering its body survived. For the first time, scientists weren't guessing what an armored dinosaur looked like. They could actually see it. And then they found something almost impossible. Traces of its original color more than 110 million years late. Scientists discovered Borealopelta was likely reddish-brown, helping it blend into its surroundings. But even that wasn't the most incredible fossil. Meet Psittacosaurus, a small plant-eating dinosaur that lived over 120 million years ago. At first glance, it doesn't seem extraordinary until you realize what was preserved. Its skin, not just an impression. Scientists could finally see exactly how parts of this dinosaur were covered in scales. And then they noticed something unexpected. Running down its tail were long, stiff bristles, something that was completely unique for a dinosaur. Suddenly, this wasn't just a skeleton anymore. It was an animal with features no one could have guessed from bones alone. But the final fossil would change how we imagine dinosaurs forever. For generations, dinosaurs were imagined as giant, scaly reptiles. Movies, books, museums, almost all showed the same thing. Then, in northeastern China, scientists uncovered a small predator named Sinosauropteryx. At first, they noticed strange fuzzy markings surrounding the skeleton. Some thought they were simply damaged tissue. Others believed they were nothing important. But they weren't. They were feathers. Simple feathers. Not built for flight, but unmistakably real. It was the first non-bird dinosaur discovered with preserved feathers. And suddenly everything changed. If one dinosaur had feathers, how many others did? Since then, dozens of feathered dinosaurs have been discovered. Some even preserved microscopic structures that revealed their original colors. Sinosauropteryx itself likely had a banded tail with reddish-brown and white coloration. The dinosaurs we grew up imagining were never quite real. The truth was even more fascinating. That's what makes these fossils so extraordinary. They didn't just preserve bones. They preserved color, skin, and details that seemed impossible to survive for more than 100 million years. Every one of them reminds us that the prehistoric world wasn't a collection of lifeless skeletons. It was filled with living, breathing animals. And somewhere beneath our feet, there may still be another fossil waiting to rewrite everything we think we know about dinosaurs.